Live! Welcome back, everyone. My name is Yuntow, and today I got a wonderful treat for you. That's right. So we have the final week for the Industry Coalition. That is the Mechs only tournament that is happening. Looks like, oh my gosh, they have so many people pouring in. This is going to be for two teams, Smoke Adders versus Mechwarriors. Division B. Like I said, the final week, Mechwarriors has been doing fairly well. Smoke Adders has also been doing pretty decent. So it should be a hard-fought game. I don't really know what to expect just yet. Both these teams have been showing that they're really putting in the work and the excitement for it. So I'm pretty excited to watch it. So once again, thank you, Mechwarriors, and thank you, Smoke Adders, for allowing me to cast. I super enjoyed it, and I didn't do enough of it this year, at least for ISC. I'll try to pick it up for these next two tournaments. My focus is to keep it exciting and keep it somewhat useful as far as the information goes. We're going to try to look at the mechs, not only what's in them, but what's on them, because I like to see some really good-looking mechs. We'll try to comment about what the pilots are doing and try to focus on some of the tactics and strategy they're using. As soon as I get the other team in here, we'll have a timer started for these two teams. A couple of the rules to go over is that it is going to be, like I said, Mechs only. You're allowed to use a mech up to 3 times. So, like, if you decide you want to bring 3 Vulcans throughout the tournament, that's fine. You can use all 3 and drop 1, but you can't use them for any other drops. If you want to use 1 Vulcan for drop 1, then you use 2 other Vulcans in other drops. And that's kind of how that works. So you're allowed to use hero mechs, but only 1 hero mech per drop. So you got to balance those around. Beyond that, it's going to be kind of focused on conquest, not kind of. Well, I say kind of because it's probably going to just come down to straight up fighting and killing. But the conquest does put time pressure on people, so even though you might always win off of caps, it does make it to where you kind of have to think a little bit quicker than you might normally want to. The 3 maps we're going to be playing on. First one is Alpine Peaks. We have a minimum or very low tonnage drop to do with that one. And then we'll be going to HPG, 2 drops on HPG, and then finally 2 drops on Crimson Strait. Yeah, we got ourselves a cop game! Woo! Alright. Regain the excitement. We gotta reserve it for these pilots. They're the one that's putting on the show and work. We just get to sit back, relax, and enjoy the carnage. Alright, wonderful Alpine Peaks. Big old map. You got your Kappa, Sigma, and Epsilon caps. We got the teams coming in. Let's go ahead and observe Smoke Adders for their first drop. Dropships coming in nice and hot. Alright, some Smoke Adders. We have McGraw in the Sage 3F. Good try in the Javelin 11F. Unfearing in the Enforcer. Captain Judas in the Rifleman. Dowbreaker, first hero mech. Rick in the Javelin and Mad Cat in the Vulcan. Dowbreaker probably running the ER lasers. Look at that, Mike does. Ooh, an Enforcer with ER lasers. I love it when teams prove me wrong. We're seeing a lot of range. 2 ERPBs and 2 small lasers on the Cicada. 2 ER lasers and 3 ER mediums on that Vulcan. And of course the Javelins bringing the 6 heavy machine guns and small pulse lasers. Alright, let's run over here before the action begins. We are seeing out of Mechwarriors, Villain, the Blackjack 1X, bringing 5 smalls and 3 ER large lasers. Direwolf also bringing a Blackjack, bringing 5 smalls and 3 ER lasers. We got Grill Squad bringing their Hellspawn, Paralyzer, 3 mediums and 3 ER large lasers. We got Carbon Fire with a 4G, 3 LB2s and 3 small lasers. We got another Blackjack Cerebramon making their way downtown, walking fast, and I'm homebound with 5 small lasers and 3 ER large lasers. And lastly, Professional 1 Trick. Let's see if that is a 1 Trick, 5 smalls and 2 medium pulses. We have Kappa gained for Mechwarriors. We have FC capped from good old Smoke Adders. We see some high range positioning taken up. And let's see what they do. We see a little bit of contesting going for Sigma. It looks like we do have Smoke Adders getting it first. Actually getting that camp point for the team. Shots coming from Carbon Fire with the LB2. Trying to put them in a bay. Now those shots do have a pretty decent range, especially with 3 LB2s. Now, the Javelin 11s are pretty scary light mechs, so 1 Trick is going to have to be careful about wanting engagements. The police have to do the work, but a lot of heavy machine guns is going to make it a little difficult. Nice little trading coming up. Smoke Adders has taken a pretty high position over here and forced the Cicada and Rifleman Dowbreaker, making sure they get the info and get the gathering that they need. Javelin's taking a low gate precision. All right. They have the Sigma, so right now they can just sit back and let the range traders try to do work. Funny enough, both teams did go for a little bit of range. With the Blackjacks, they're going to be a little squishy, but they do have that range profile and that peeking profile to kind of take advantage of the 3 ER large lasers. Both teams seem to be content on trying to do the trades. Right now, it seems like Mechwarriors' lowest mech is 96% and Grill Squad and the Hellspawn. Now, Mad Cat and that Vulcan 5T, though, is at 92% and Unfearing at 92%. Potentially those LB2s, yeah, hitting Unfearing now, forcing them to stop peeking just now. Actually got a headshot in that. Ooh, baby. Let's see if they can do any more with that, or if they're going to be able to get away. Right and left arm of that Cicada is a little hurt, but not too concerning yet. Unfearing trying to do some aggressive positioning with their Enforcer, Dialbreaker are going to support them. Some strikes on Sigma trying to deny the caps. UAV usage was going out for Mechwarriors, but it doesn't look like they actually needed that. They know where the enemy is. Probably just to see if they can scout those javelins out early on. So right now we get the exciting times of watching people trade with blue lasers and LB2s. I gotta say though, I like this 4G pick right here. Putting out some shots, airstrikes coming out. Almost hitting Direwolf, but thankfully Direwolf did reposition to ignore that airstrike. Carbon Fire putting out some good firepower. Right, once again, Mechwarriors has the Fleet 17 at 91%. Hopefully that's not too much leg damage. But Smoke Adders is taking the worst side of the trade with that Enforcer, bringing it down to 79%. Let's check it on again. The headshot gives a lot of that percentile, so we can't trust it too much. I see some aggressive position now coming in. Smoke Adders taking the I6, I7 hill. Vulcan trying to get a little bit of side angles, able to keep some of those blackjacks down. McGraw, potentially they're going to threaten Kappa. They don't really need a 3-cap lead, but wouldn't hurt. Considering that Mechwarriors has 1 light mech and doesn't have more than that, they have to be a little careful in their positioning. Professional One Trick, hearing my words possibly, but wants to show that they are indeed a professional. Hopefully that One Trick is indeed their fleet mag. Nice UAV going out. It's going to give him that scout on that Cicada. The Cicada does notice it and shoots it right back down. But they see and are aware of each other because that Cicada now knows that there's somebody quick, probably the Flea, nearby and close to hit. Now in this fight, the Flea should win this. But it looks like there is good communication going on. It's the Javelins are going to assist the Cicada because the Cicada doesn't need to throw its life away. Maybe they can catch that Flea as it makes a cross back. Javelins are preparing. Right now we see the range trading. Another good airstrike coming out. Actually thinking clipping Direwolf there with that. We'll have to check on that in a second. Looks like the Flea wisely is disengaging because they probably got the comms from their team, Mechwarriors, about the Javelins moving off to the side. Real Scott down to 82%. Let's check him out. Headshot as well. Again, headshots, they're a little misleading on that tonnage. I like Direwolf's positioning, though, taking this high ground, able to get a little more info on these mechs on the far side of the ridge. Javelins now being pulled back to Smoke Adders. Unfury actually dropping down to 65%. Let's check that mech once again. Whoa, I got hit by the LBT. You saw that little overheat coming out. We got a little damage on the right leg, but hopefully they'll be okay. But again, look at the cap points. We're at 306, about to be 308 for Smoke Adders, 168 for Mechwarriors. And again, Mechwarriors only having 1 light mech. It means they have to be very careful, very conscientious of that light mech's health and ability. Because if they lose that, it's going to be up to their range traders to get some value. And they're kind of winning the range trade. They still have plenty of time. 9 minutes and 25 seconds is plenty of time to make anything work. Love the Blue Laser Light show. Hunchback's still doing fine. Let's see, we have, and it's just the extreme range that Hunchback is now put in. Still sitting at 90%. So Ramrod is sitting at 83. We have Direwolf at 87. Villain at 93 as well. We do see a little bit of a push coming from Villain and Hellspawn, Growth Squad, excuse me. With the Fleet 17 trying to back it up, but the Fleet 17 did have to disengage because they were taking a little more damage than I think they would like. Mostly just a rear back shot, looks like. Nice strikes or artillery strikes coming out of Smoke Adders, I would assume, trying to make sure they dislodge any kind of Kappa 10. Now, that is not a full Kappa Sigma, so it shouldn't take too long with the Kappa Accelerate mech. But again, they got to get on it. Unfearing dropping down to 50%. How well is that mech surviving? They are open CT and right torso. They're going to have to be a little careful. I think Captain Judas going up front was the play there. So that way they can help absorb some of those hits. Still denying the Kappa Sigma. Mad Cat actually having an angle now, able to kind of push off that Hellspawn and Blackjack, which has probably been pretty useful for McGraw. Taking shots for opportunity on Direwolf, zooming over there. Let's just make sure that the Direwolf is doing okay. I like the aggressive positioning coming in. Mechwarriors. This is exactly what they need. This is aggressive position. It's going to force Smoke Adders to keep moving around. Unfearing dropping down to 44%. More aggressive positioning coming in Mechwarriors with their Blackjacks and Hellspawn. Carbon Fire giving up on that Lima 8 hill. Now moving up to share some of that armor as well. These Javelins, though, are so fresh. These Javelins are going to be devastating with those machine guns. Oh, and 2 medium lasers. Didn't notice that. I assumed it was going to be 2 smalls. And, ooh, 2 small pulses. There we go. There we go. Ooh, artillery strike actually forcing Mad Cat down a little bit. But again, as time ticks by, this just gets closer and closer for Smoke Adders to win this match. It'd probably be a dangerous call, but I would actually be curious to see if they could take out Direwolf. That positioning for Direwolf is super aggressive and does provide good overwatch. Ooh, alright, Mechwarrior is realizing the time is not going their side, and they are taking some hits now. We have Sir Ramrod dropping down to 69%. Looks like they're taking the rear protection, so maybe your teammates can suck up some of that armor. Teammates are moving up. They're trying to get a little bit closer to get some good angles. Probably seeing if they can take out Unfearing. Another headshot on Carbon Fire. Ooh, the shots are going out. You can see him pelting from afar. The Javelins have repositioned as well to stay cover. Oh, I like the position coming out of the Cicada over here. Cicada 3F. Being shot up by the Blackjack, but they're able to provide a little overwatch as they approach the Sigma with mass tonnage now. Direwolf also getting a little aggressive in positioning. And it looks like they are making the attempts to grab Sigma, and it looks like Sigma is indeed being grabbed. Captain Judas and that Dahlberger now being kind of focused on by 3 mechs is CT'd open, putting out the shots. But they're being harassed by the LB2 fire. LB2 fire needs a lot of phase time, but if they can get it... Ooh, we have the Blackjack, and here comes the Javelins. This is going to be a great pickup for Smoke Adders, as this Javelin is not in his... Or, excuse me, this Firestar is not in his spot. Where's Blackjack? There's so many mechs that actually going on. The Blackjack is not wanting to be here. Direwolf Tizang does take out Captain Judas in that fight, so that Rifleman is down, but for the trade-off... So does go one of the Blackjacks. There is a big push. Unfearing is not long for this world, as this is a lot of stuff. Unfearing just needs to buy time as much as they can. I would think they're aware, but unfortunately, it's just too much pressure coming from that one. But both teams are still relatively grouped up. Vulcan and the Cicada are having to pull back a little bit. Vulcan by Mad Cat is a little beat up. Let's see how beat up they are. CT is open. Javelin, though, taking a lot of hits in exchange. Also, CT is open. And it looks like they're going to threaten an Epsilon cap now, which I think is a wide strategy, because right now they are a little bit lower on points, and they want to make sure they secure this by taking a 3-cap pressure. They're going to force the hand out of these Vulcans and Javelins. Freshest one is that Fleet 17. The lowest one is Grill Squad for the health bond at 53% out of Mechwarriors. Smoke Adder sitting at 79% with one of the Javelins, which is really good. Mad Cat being the lowest at 50%. Looks like Fleet 17 is getting stuck in. Will they be able to scoop it up? This is kind of aggression they kind of need right now, but this is allowing the Blackjacks to get up professional one Drake, doing their best to squirrel away Smoke Adder so their Javelins, or excuse me, their Blackjacks can actually move up. We do see a Kappa flip as well. FC not fully flipped still, but one of the Javelins does go down, and so does the Vulcan. So it's just leaving the Cicada and the Javelin. Unfortunately, the Javelin that was there to be a buffer zone was one of the more weakened Javelin. But I think good try, realizing that we need to kind of keep in the cap game if we can. Now, in a Fleet 17 versus Javelin fight, the Javelin should be able to pick up that fight. But it looks like good try, knowing what's going on, knows that they're probably being encircled right now, and so trying to peel away. The comms should be coming out from Mechwarriors. A good try is going this way, so Direwolf should be expecting with a little overwatch from Sir Ramon. Will good try be able to scoop up this Blackjack? Let's see. It's not CT'd open. It's a little hurt from heat damage from their own, firing all the lasers. Serve round is able to get the Cicada, looks like up high. Good shot from, oh, that Javelin does get left leg ready to pop, and there we go. So even though Smoke Adders had a pretty significant cap lead, Mechwarriors did the wise move and actually pushed on it, and once the mechs are all dead, you can take all the caps you want. So having a cap advantage, again, kind of puts a little bit of time pressure, but it doesn't actually ensure the win con. But I think both teams did a really good job. Both were willing to trade, and they both proved me wrong. Thank you for proving me wrong. Let's publish the stats so that way someone can grab it if they need to. There you go. That's your match ID. Let's take a quick look at the numbers. So, Mechwarriors with 443 damage coming at Blackjack 1X. Very well done by Direwolf. And then Smoke Adders bringing in 392 damage with that Enforcer. Unfearing did take a lot of damage initially, but they put out a lot of it in return. So well done and well fought. Mechwarriors, so that's going to be these two spawns. So either they're going to go up to Echo 3, or they're playing some kind of Kappa strat. I would love to see what they do. But let's get away from my beautiful face. Let's focus on the action, because that's what we're here for, everybody. So once again, root on your teams. Wish them luck. They will love to hear it. All right, since we're over here already, Let's see what Mechwarriors has in store for us. So coming out of Villain, we got a Bushwhacker X1. Ooh, baby. We got the Classic Crusaders finally making their presence. 3 of them, in fact, by Professional One Trick, Dyro Zhang, and Grill Squad. And then we have 2 more Bushwhackers, all the X1 variants. So let's take a look. Let's see what we got. Small pulses. We got 11 smalls with 3 air larges, so a little bit of range. We got out these Bushwhackers. Love Sir Ramon. I meant to check the camos in the other matches, but loving that one. Anyways, 3 AC5s, 1 light PPC. Ooh, I like that one for Carbon Fire as well. 3 AC5s, 1 light PPC. Oh my goodness, Mechwarriors, your camera's on point. 3 AC5s, light PPCs. Once again, we have the Crusaders probably running something similar. 11 smalls and 3 AR large lasers, and 11 smalls, 3 AR large lasers. Love the classic look. Grill Squad. Now, running over here, so Smoke Hatters, we have Mad Cat and the Enforcer. We have Unfearing in the Stalker 5S, another Enforcer, so that's the last one coming out of Captain Judas. We have Rick inside of the Phoenix Hawk. We have a Rifleman Dahlbreaker making its show again, and we have McGraw in the Warhammer. Now, the Rick has a 5 smalls, 2 snubmos PPCs. We have the Enforcer with 3 large lasers and 2 mediums. Unfearing bringing Stalker with 5S, 6 large lasers. A little spicy, a little hot, but got that range. McGraw in the 5 large laser 9D Warhammer. Enforcer, once again, 4 large lasers. Let's go. And the Dahlbreaker bringing the 5 large lasers. I think for Smoke Hatters, we got McGraw having the best camo look. Not to take away from Unfearing. I like the look. I like the feel. And once again, we got shots. We have the gimme flags being taken. Cap being taken for Mechwarriors. We do see that Smoke Hatters was indeed securing their EPSI. Full cap from EPSI. We see a lot of range trading. Actually, looks like even though they put positions for this side of the map, they are focusing on this left side very heavily for Smoke Hatters. Shots already coming out from Sir Ramrod and Carbon Fire and Villain, but ooh, we got some good fire on Carbon Fire right there. Airstrike forcing him out of the position. That's a lot of aggression for them to deal with. We got the Blue Laces coming out. Grill Squad trying to see if they can get some good peaks from the middle. We have the two Crusaders on the left-hand side, so they can use some of the advantage of that with their ELRJs being poked. Looks like there is going to be a Theta Flip coming in from Professional One Trick. Right now, 81%, 74% from Carbon Fire. Smoke Hatters doing a great job focusing that mech down as much as they can. Now dropping to 70% as they are making the cross and making the push to try to get to the other side. Looks like they are going to go Theta as well. So, big interesting to note. Yes, the Crusaders could go fairly fast. They're very strong as far as like their speed goes. See, this would be great for music because HP is so freaking quiet. Anyways, I digress. They're going to take the Theta. There is a lot of presence for the middle, which the info gathering should have been given from Smoke Hatters. Smoke Hatters should know that it's probably what went into the basement was indeed those Bushwhackers. Let's see if they actually utilize it for themselves. Left torso a little weak on the Dahlbreaker. We have some mechs moving on to the right side, so this is the kind of calm I think that should be happening. Now, to be fair, Smoke Hatters only has 1 ranged mech for their play, being the Phoenix Hawk. Now, those Crusaders are going to be scary. Like, yes, they have some large lasers, but that close range danger zone that they have is going to be pretty tough, too. But right now, Mechwarriors is in the lead as far as cap points. They are applying the time pressure. Looks like the Crusaders are doing their best to trade in. Unfearing that Stalker doing some unfortunate trades. Ooh, Rick dropped to 95%. I bet that's a headshot. Once again, that is a headshot. Oh, yikes. Now, these 18-5 Bushwhackers are doing what they need to do. They just need to get in close and get into more optional. Otherwise, they just take unfavorable trades. If they can poke and focus at somebody one at a time, that's even better for them. Rick now having to play even more careful than they probably wanted to. The Raxus probably has their left torso open. They should try to peek from the right from here on out. They do have the left torso open. They are going to be trying to peek from the right. Very good. That way they can save a little more armor in that process. Mad Cat getting some good shots, but unfortunately getting kind of punished than before. I mean, that range is not that far. It's probably within the optimal range of the AC5s. But right now, ooh, the Carbon Fire losing a right arm. That's funny. What's really interesting is that these are kind of evenly traded right now. We have Mechwarriors, the lowest mech being Carbon Fire 60%, but as you can see by Carbon Fire's mech loadout, nothing super missed right now. Like, nothing that's actually significant enough to make the mech feel like it's gonna fail. Rick trying to get that early game scouting again, trying to see if they notice them. They do notice that the Bushwhackers have pushed back into the basement. Crusaders, again, trying to get some good trades, but again, they don't technically need to trade too much. They just need to be able to get the info gathering from time to time, but they have the cap lead. Checking on some of these mechs. Good CT focus from Smoke Hatters. This mech is actually fairly fresh. Grill Squad at 69%. Nice. Is sitting, overheating a little bit, but it's still relatively okay. Unfortunately, Grill Squad is going to be the only one that's poking those 2 mechs right now. So, Mech had Unfearing doing okay in the trade. Again, Unfearing and that Stalker is going to have a great range game to play with. See the position coming out of Mad Cat. Now, this is what those Crusaders are over here on this left-hand side or right side from Smoke Adder's position. It's because they want to be able to deny the info and deny the pushing of Smoke Adder so they don't actually take this right side. Now, I do like this play, though. Smoke Adder's knowing this probably is sending Mad Cat over to the right to kind of draw some attention, allowing Rick 88 to get in a little bit closer with their mech. Oh, but they are spotted, going down to 94%. Those Crusaders try to deny it. Airstrike coming out. Does not get the value, but it is there. It is cool. We'd love to see things explode. Real Squad dropping down to 58%. That should be their CT. Very close. Looks like the left and right legs did get hurt as well. A lot of spine fighting. And again, the Bushwhackers are content to sit in the basement. Because again, they have the cap lead. What do they have to worry about? I'm chilling. I will hydrate for you, Level. Don't worry. That was me hydrating, just so you know. Risk Squad CT'd open as of right now. Your friendly rogue dying in the background. Don't worry. She is okay. More importantly, are these mechs okay? I like the spread of some of the damage. It's probably just a few large lasers. CT open for Captain Judas. Will Captain Judas be able to pull that off? Left torso still peeking with the right. Thorax. Big brain smart. We love it. Grill Squad still staying alive even though they're CT'd open. And these Bushwhackers playing it chill. Enjoying their basement life. All right, but I mean, they have the longer they wait, and like the more that the Crusaders are able to whittle down these mechs, the better for them because they're just going to be able to open up and destroy the rest of these components. We got McGraw taking the lead on this big push, getting a little bit in the back shot, but here we go. This is what I was talking about. With these two caps and playing this side of the wall, you're able to secure the Kappa grab with your light or quick mech of choice, and you should get some Overwatch. Now this is going to force them to make a move. And again, with Mechwarriors not having any like actual quick mechs, they're gonna have to rely on their armor and their focus fire in order to win this fight. They technically are playing. I mean, so far it's just been the Crusaders, but now the Bushwhackers are getting involved. It was a 3v5, but now they're coming in with now a 4v5. And a lot of Smoke Adders are pretty hurt because again, once those Bushwhackers get into optimal, that's a lot of punishing damage. Let me. All right, KDCM, once again in the chat, just saying all the things he can do. Good job, Gady. We do see some pretty good positioning coming by these teams. Again, Smoke Adders is, you have to see, there's a lot of low numbers for Smoke Adders, but they're still alive. Also, fun fact, please don't fall down here ever. It's bad. You die. Unless you have jump jets, and even then, you still might die. All right, I like the positioning coming out of. They realize that they're not going to be able to take Kappa, I guess, effectively with the Bushwhackers. So it looks like they're trying to see if they can force off whatever is on this right and make this a 3v1 or a 6v1 here in a moment. Big push coming out. Now, Thorax has the info gathering. Will they be able to stop this push or at least get enough info and not lose it? They're still peeking with the right torso, which is wise. Hopefully, they never peek that left side because that left torso will explode. Don't do it, Thorax. I believe in you. All right, good. They're not doing it. But this is all they need. They just need to get in closer and closer. Now, I will say it again, Smoke Adder's taking this extreme range on this other side, will spot this approach and put out the fire. Is it going to be great damage? No, but it is still damage. Rick 88, maybe being a little mischievous, might even try to sneak a Theta cap. Right now, Mechwarriors has little time to afford with this. And the thing is that Mechwarriors has to know that they have Smoke Adders, I wouldn't say on the ropes, but they're pretty hurt. One good solid push and solid focus fire, and they will be able, both torsos are open for the Rex. They will be able to push this team over. Looks like Grill Squad trying to take the initiative. Looks like they're going to be trying to angle for the ramp push and see if they can catch the Rex unawares. They might be able to do it. The Rex should know that there's enemy mechs super close by. I mean, with the comms given, like maybe even they even spotted Grill Squad or even Professional One Trick sneaking through this bridge tunnel. Bridge tunnel? Bridge tunnel. Yeah, bridge tunnel. Oh, Grill Squad actually going for the tunnel push and is making a play for Epsi. Keeping themselves with the 2-cap lead. I respect that. It's a little scary, but again, Captain Judas' Enforcer is pretty beat up as well. They'll be able to deny the cap, but gonna take some focus fire. Now, they are trickling in one by one. So Grill Squad is going to alert them. CT is open. If there's enough focus fire, they might be able to take it. Grill Squad, I think, of being aware of this, is waiting to get into the cap until they get into an advantageous position where they can deny hits. Will Captain Judas respond to this? Captain Judas is using the jump jets to get the poke on it and deny the cap. Well thought. Well played. But it's kind of weird. There is a huge cap advantage right now going towards Smoke Adders. I mean, I shouldn't say cap advantage. They have the 2-cap lead. But these Crusaders are going to be so difficult to push off. Now it's Thorax's turn to put shots on Grill Squad. Waiting for the angle. Waiting for the deny. Because again, you don't actually have to shoot right away. You could wait until it starts ticking down and then put a shot at. Oh, Grill Squad. CT almost close to being one touch. And Thorax kills it with the 5 ear-large lasers on that Dowbreaker. Remember, this is the same Thorax that is left and right torso open. So that's a good pickup for him. Ooh, they got to be careful. Still peeking with that right torso. Looks like Rick is coming in. Rick, the Phoenix Hawk, is coming in to pick on Professional One Trick. This is the time where they need to put all their focus fire on this mech. It's really important that Rick does not go down, though. They need to win this fight. There goes an ARP, so that goes half their small lasers. Rick staying alive with their mech is very important. They are headshot. Unfearing is... Oh, it has destroyed Villain. Oh, we missed that. Carbon Fire is able to get Mad Cat back. This is the Bushwhackers doing a good old push as well. Good play for Professional One Trick, actually getting out the Overwatch that was coming from Captain Judas and from, Thorax. Thorax having to drop low because Dire was saying has taken the high ground to deny. Meanwhile, over here, we didn't even see this huge rotation coming out of McGraw going the opposite end to make use of their ear-large lasers. Rick finally does pick up the kill on that Crusader, but now is in trouble with the Bushwhackers. Carbon Fire once again picking up another kill on Captain Judas. That was the other enforcer that was super weak. This is an unfortunate fight. If they're able to clean up this Bushwhacker, oh, CT, but not before taking it down. Now, once again, oh, it's so close. Sir Ramrod is now aware. This Thorax is so low, though, so that's how it went. This AC5's putting in the punching power. Direwolf up top. It's going to be up to the Warhammer, who's on the other side, which I love the coverage for Smoke Adders. He's going to have to put as much hurt and much damage on it so that Unfearing can actually do something about this. They have to know. There he goes. Yeah, it's going to be so much firepower when they're that close. Now it's going to be up to this Warhammer. Now this Warhammer is fairly fresh, 69% now. Right torso's weak. Left torso's got a little heat damage. They are going to go for the Theta flip. Trying to keep some kind of cap lead. Now, it looks like Direwolf is potentially going to defend Theta instead of opting for the Kappa. We have Sir Ramrod taking the Epsilon cap as well. Carbon Fire also going to Theta, so this is where McGraw is going to have to do their best to fend off against these mechs. Now, the CT is open on Direwolf. So that would be a pretty punishing fire just to Alpha N. And Carbon Fire is doing okay, but it's not great. This is a good... I love the position coming out of these two teams. Jump shot's being used to try to deny some of the shots. Going for Carbon Fire, which, yeah, probably is the best shot. But the back shots coming out of Direwolf does seal the deal for Mechwarriors winning round 2. Bum, bum, boom. That was really close, though. I mean, both these teams did a really good job. I mean, look at these mechs. Like, the Carbon Fire, CT to open, left torso open. Snare Ramrod pretty much just had to breathe on him a little bit, and they would have lost their CT. Good focus fire for them and not panicking whenever the mech was pushing on him. And once again, Direwolf CT to open. So again, it went Mechwarrior's way, but it was still a close fight. And each drop matters. Each drop is super important because you get MC for each drop 1 to split amongst your team. You do get to match set win if you win 3 out of the 5. But again, each drop matters. So that's what you got to focus on. All right, let's publish the stats. There you go, teams. If you need the stats, there you go. It's yours. You have it now. Now let's take a look at what had happened. We have good damage coming out of Direwolf with that 570 and that Crusader doing fantastic work. But not to be dismissed, Unfearing once again taking the leadership for their team. 590 damage to that Stalker because, my goodness, that Stalker can poke far and can poke hard. Don't read into that. And not saying that the Mechwarriors isn't providing fantastic skill and piloting, obviously are. But some of the stuff, some of these matches can get lost in the draft decking. Smoke Adder's making great moves, great plays, but again, AC5 Bushwhackers, who would have thought? Very dangerous. All right, turning off the music so I don't have to, listen to y'all complain and whine and all that. I'm kidding, I love you. And we're about to get rid of my beautiful face and the scoreboard because we want to see what's going on. What's going on? All right, so once again, the team set swap. So now we have Smoke Adders on this side of the map, and we have Mechwarriors on the other side. So we have Good Try, Captain Judas, Mad Cat, McGraw, Unfearing, and Thorax coming back in, nice and ready. We have Good Try bringing in the Phoenix Hawk instead of Rick 88. We have some Thunderbolts coming into play, 10 SE Thunderbolts by Captain Judas, Mad Cat, McGraw. We have a Champion 3N coming out of Unfearing, and the final Rifleman Dowbreaker by Thorax. Thorax did a good job of it before, so it doesn't surprise me. Ooh, we got 3 large pulse, 2 mediums, and 1 Thunderbolt. Another Thunderbolt with Captain Judas. Captain Judas loved the paint scheme. And another 3 large pulse lasers, 2 mediums coming in for the third Thunderbolt. A little laser vomit. 2 stun bows, PPCs, and 5 smalls coming out of the Phoenix Hawk. Downbreaker probably still running the ELR's laser. Look at that. And the champion, 3 and 5 ELR's lasers. So 2 traders and 3 laser vomits. Now, coming out of Mechwarriors, we see some aggressive pushing coming out of the Phoenix Hawks by Hydro Kyle. Welcome to the fight. And Sir Ramrod bringing the 2 snubs and 5 small lasers as well. Getting in close, getting in fast. Those 7S's do have mass, so they're making use of it. Oh, all 3 Phoenix Hawks finally getting utilized. So, yeah, we have Professional One Trick bringing one in. They're all running the same builds. Love it. Now, looking at these Catapults and Corsairs. Catapults bringing 2 ERPPC, 2 Light Goths. And same thing with Dyro saying villain. And the Corsair running the 3 large laser, 2 Gauss rifle. Already getting a nasty shot in the right torso. Not sure how the rear shot happened, but boom, there it is. So we got 3 pretty hefty range traders of Gauss and ERPPC, or in E large lasers coming out of Mechwarriors. And we're seeing only 2 range traders coming out of the Rifleman Downbreaker and the Champion 3N. It's going to be a little tough for them to win that trade. So it's going to be up to the Laser Vomit, Thunderbolts, and Phoenix Hawks to really get the value and get the effort. But with them doing the 3 and 3 of Mechwarriors, they're not going to be as easy to scare off with 3 Phoenix Hawks. Data was not grabbed. I think I was going to say, there were probably some comms coming out being like, hey, be careful about taking basement. They had a mech team pushing down there. I feel a little worried for Smoke Eater's Rangers up there because that's a lot of range that they're going to have to put into. But again, if they can keep their heads down, maybe, and we're seeing it now, some jump jet shenanigans. Oh, unfortunately, the jump jet's not quite making that jump. It's a difficult jump to make. Looks like Captain Judas being the only one who's able to make that jump. There have to be an audible at this point. This might not be a bad thing. Phoenix Hawk, good try. Doing it again. Good try, Phoenix Hawk. We got Mad Cat and the Thunderbolt trying to push in, trying to get value of being, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. Captain Judas trying to put some fire, Carbon Fire, not able to put shots down low because of that. Mad Cat getting in super close against these Phoenix Hawks. I mean, 3 large pulsed Ethereums is going to be quite punishing, but right now it's effectively a 3v1 or essentially a 4v or 5v1 with those catapults getting into range, putting out their fire. They're trying to jump on these Phoenix Hawks. They do have a little more speed with these Thunderbolts. Mad Cat's still going down with their armor now at 45%, but still alive. Arm coming off of McGraw in the 18 as they're trying to score around, trying to get these Phoenix Hawks, but boom, there goes Mad Cat. Direwolf saying able to get good try in the Phoenix Hawk. There's now 1v3 with McGraw and the Thunderbolt against the 3 Phoenix Hawks. And well, technically a 1v4 because we still see Carbon Fire putting out shots with the Gauss EL large lasers. It's going to be pretty devastating. And there they go. We do see that Captain just did give up on the long-range fight up top and instead trying to square away with the mechs in the bottom. But unfortunately, again, back shots coming in, or excuse me, XL check on the left or right torso, rear right torso, which all that leaves is the range traders coming out of Smoke Headers to try to do their best to make this somewhat salvageable. I mean, out of the damage, Carbon Fire and that Corsair took the most out of that exchange. Oh, actually, Hydro Kyle took the most out of exchange with a Phoenix Hawk. Carbon Fire is still fairly fresh for a Corsair, so nothing, nothing too exciting, unfortunately, for Smoke Adders. Phoenix Hawks, knowing their advantage, knowing that this is, ooh, left leg, almost one touch for Professional One Trick, is going to try to see if they get some value up there. It looks like the Hydro Crowd going for a right side flank to get a little bit closer. Waiting for Sir Ramrod. Sir Ramrod, love the color scheme, is trying to move up. They are a little bit fresher than Professional One Trick as far as like having armor still. And unfortunately, I think this match is potentially already decided. Maybe if this jump was a little more successful, this would have changed the theme of fight entirely. Because those Phoenix Hawks might have had a little bit of trouble to actually help their range mechs. But it looks like it was just a little bit difficult to pull off. With only one of their pilots, technically 2 of their pilots, being able to pull it off. It was a good effort. It would have been really cool to see that happen. The racks actually being focused on all sides. Will they be able to spread that damage to try to get a kill? Maybe even a leg? No. 3 Phoenix Hawks and 1 Downbreaker is just a little too tough, a little too spicy. Unfearing not wanting to give a kill to the range traders wants to fight the Phoenix Hawks. Goes down to 50%. CT open. Right torso open. 40%. One touch right CT. And right torso went out, but not XL check. CT taking it away. Good fight. Again, I love the strat. That strat felt so cool and so strong. But Smoke Eaters, unfortunately, was not able to connect on it. And I think that's what it came down to. All right, publishing the stats. Once again, there's your match ID. Seen. We do have 555 damage covered Carbon Fire, followed up closely by Professional One Trick in that Phoenix Hawk, 506. Smoke Eaters doing their best with what the situation gave into them. Still got 425 damage out of Therox, taking the lead from Unfearing. Haha! But Unfearing pretty close with only 4 damage lighter. Here we go. Another match done. As we move on to the final map for 2 more drops. And I'm glad everyone's talking about all these wonderful, amazing teams that exist in Div A, but make sure you're still rooting on for these 2 teams. They need your excitement. They need your, support. This is the time. Plus, they were excited for me to cast, so I'm really excited to be here. And I usually do get to do a lot of casting. I'll try to do some more as we go approach into Blood League and Turn of the Stars. Real life, I tell you what, likes to get in the way when you want to do the fun, cool stuff. Like watching people kick some butt. So, coming at Smoke Riders, we have McGrowl, the Cicada 3F coming back. Rick 88 and the Vulcan 5N. We have Mad Cat with the Rod 4L. Thank you, Mad Cat. We have the Thorax and the Stalker 5S. We have Vindicated and the Champion 3N and Corsair 7A. So, I think, ladies and gentlemen, those beyond the binary, we have some range game. Yep, Gauss, large lasers. 60-year-old laser, Champion 3N. Ooh, like the positioning. Bringing some large lasers as well. Cicada bringing the 2 ERPCs and 2 small. We got a little bit of island aggression coming out of Rick 88 with the 2 large pulse and the 2 medium lasers. And Madcap, the 2 ERPC, 2 Gauss. Now, real quick, because I feel like this is going to get exciting real fast. We have Mechwarriors, Direwolf saying in the Hotamato 27W, bringing 2 ERPC, 2 Light Gauss. God dang it, that's a cool build. We have Villain, the 2 ERPC, 2 Light Gauss using the last catapult. Corsairs, 3 large laser, 2 Gauss rifle. Another Corsair, 3 large laser, 2 Gauss rifles. We have Professional 1 Trick and the Vulcan 5S, probably bringing the snubs, yep, and the heavy machine guns. And Hydro brings snubs and light machine guns. So we have a little bit of Gauss and DACA. Or actually, not even DACA. Just Gauss and ERPPCs and large lasers coming out of Mechwarriors. And Smoke Riders also doing it up. This is kind of one of the spots I was talking about. Look at this position, though. That's on the high ground. They see the whole map from there. Thorax with the 60-year-old legends. They do have the range trade. We do see more position coming in the Corsair 7A and the Champion 3 and the Cicada 3F. Like the range game that they're trying to do. The mobility on some of these mechs is going to help out against some of those shots. But Mechwarriors with their Gauss and ERPPC, even from this range, does have some disgusting things. I believe the mech on this one has about 1,000-meter range, so we'll be doing a lot of damage, maybe not necessary. But if you can hit those shots, it's still more damage than they want to afford. Carbon Fire taking it. So Carbon Fire and Direwolf taking this kind of like right side Peninsula hook, trying to deny any kind of island push. We have Villain to K2 also using these buildings in the center to provide a lot of cover. Like, look at this. It's a lot of interesting peaks coming with this catapult. It's getting noticed and getting shot at, but not a lot of damage coming out. Real Squad eating that airstrike, but still alive. Actually denying some of the island push coming out of Rick 88 and the large pulse Vulcan. We have the Mad Cat and the Marauder 4L looking for a right side flank. Mad Cat, by the way. Love your mech. Looks good. Nice. Good boom. And let's see. Cicada over here. We have the Mechwarriors taking the Theta cap. So they are now putting the time pressure once again on Smoke Riders with a 2 cap lead. Now, again, that is info saying that, hey, we have 2 mechs over at Theta. This is an interesting idea or concept. Maybe we should take advantage of it. The thing is that Smoke Riders is going for more of a range setup with the 2 large poles and the 2 ERPPCs coming to Cicada once again. They are hoping to be overwhelming in their range trade and win the fight off of that. Which is not a bad idea. It's definitely feasible, and I think it's a really strong play. Because if they can beat the range traders and make it very difficult for them to actually win that trade, then the range traders out of Mechwarriors loses the zoning. They lose the control over part of the map. And Smoke Riders just get to run with it. Airstrike coming in. Oh, Grill Squad just being bullied by these air pilots. But managed to stay alive. Still got some good health. I mean, nothing's been loosened up yet. Looks like right now, out of Smoke Riders, it's mostly the Vulcan, Rook 88, going down to 89%. Curious to see, I think Hydro and One Trick are going to be kind of a big gameplay right here, because if they can take advantage of some of these range shots. Oh, but they are noticed. Okay, very good for Unfairing, actually having the foresight and Overwatch to know to keep an eye on the saddle. So they're not part of the big trade right now. I guess they're relying on Thorax with the Stalker to outrange and out-hit. And then I guess the Marauder and the Vulcan to do a little bit of harass in the middle. Actually, the Vulcan did swap out. Now we have Vindicated right here on the island as well. We're running against, again, the large lasers and 5 large lasers, excuse me. Taking a nasty shot just now, 89%. First squad still dropping down to 75%. Vulcans are pushed back because they can't actually take advantage of the range trade because of the fact that Unfearing was able to deny the zoning. Oh, we actually do see some machine gun fire. Vulcan to 5M. Ooh, nice preemptive airstrike. Didn't actually get the value out of that. Now, some of those PPCs are pretty nasty in a brawl, even though there's 2 ER PPCs on that Cicada. But the Vulcan 5M being a little weak in a scenario, looking at them, they are left torso open, XL check, ready to go. UAVs coming out from both teams, so both teams have the scouting info if anybody's on the saddle. Vulcans did take out the smoke adder UAV. And again, Mechwarriors have the lead. They have the game win. And I like the repositioning coming out of Mechwarriors. Like, they were doing okay in some of the trading, but they don't really need to put much pressure. They just need to kind of control these zones and force smoke adders to get into a position they don't really want to be in with their range trades. And smoke adders, realizing this, is trying to take advantage of some of the ground that is given to them. See, like, yes, we see what you're trying to do, but we'll try to take advantage as much as we can. Some nasty shots. Look at that little gap right here. This gap right here, allowing Unfearing to be focused and hit by Grill Squad and Villain. Some nasty range gaming going right there. Like, look at that. Itty bitty living space, that's for sure. Villain doing a good job of showing that their namesake is not just for lulz. They are making themselves a big villain. Smoke adders. Ooh, but like any kind of villain, but enough firepower, enough, weapons. And you could probably scare him off as well. Carbon fire, though, not being afraid of that, well, incoming fire. Is actually putting out some good shots as well, trying to cover their teammates' progression. Mad Cat and Vindicated still heading out this island. Let's see how hurt or beat up they are. Still doing okay. Right torso a little weak. Probably from heat, because those ERPCs do indeed get hot. The champion still doing okay, not pushing any heat, managing it quite well. The Vulcans over here, just to kind of make sure we're noticing, Hydro Crown, Professional One Trick, just kind of, lurking about, making sure that they kind of want them to take Theta and take out those light mechs, because they know the Vulcan's already pretty beat up. They know that the Cicada doesn't quite have the small, close combat capabilities to win it. And it looks like because of this forced positioning, Smoke Adams is unfortunately taking some unfortunate trades. How many times can you say unfortunate in one breath? The play here is hard to discern. It looks like they are trying to put a little aggression on the left-hand side. Maybe to see if they can focus out Direwolf and that Hamato. Now, the Hamato, the great thing about that mech is that it's got a crazy range on it. Bad thing about that mech is that all those weapons are on that right torso and right arm. And it looks like that's what's being worked as much as they possibly can. Look at that, 69% coming out of Vindicated now. Oh, and there goes a arm. Yeah, it looks like an arm got popped off. Not the torso, though. Now, the curious thing is about the Mortar Pharrell. Is it running XL? Is it running light engine? Unfortunately, they are going to have a hard time repeaking that. Did Direwolf win that exchange? Looks like they're pulling back as well. Right arm got hurt. They lose that right arm. That's two of their ERPCs out. Real Squad, right torso ready to pop. Catapult's doing what they can, putting out some good shots. I love the catapult picks. I think that's really nice. All right, we do see a little bit of aggression coming in Smoke Adams. Another UAV going out. Because right now the cap lead is heavily in Mechwarriors' favor. I think the only way they kind of win this fight is if they actually commit. Yeah, I was going to say, unfortunately, I think Smoke Adams might need to commit some of their mechs. Just give up on some of these range shades. Just try to take shots of zoning. Right now they've committed to these mechs over here. Looks like Mechwarriors is still trying to put up their fire. 68% for this Corsair. Got a little cooked on the heat, but still is alive. Again, Carbon Fire should feel... Ooh, close airstrike. Carbon Fire should feel pretty good about this because, again, Mad Cat is down to 43%. Vindicated is down to 60%. And they're relatively fresh, so they could easily 1v2 that because of that. Vulcans did have to disengage from that because, once again, they did make a big push and a big aggression trying to get out there. They can take the Theta cap now, but this is here the interesting time, right? It's the same thing I was talking about earlier, right? The Vulcans went for the Theta cap. Smoke Adders, unfortunately for them, didn't really have the position to really punish that kind of cap early on because if they were bringing more range to the fight, which again can work really well. But in this scenario, now it's gonna be a flipped like concept. There goes Grill Squad actually taking out Vindicated in that exchange because they're gonna go take that Theta cap, which is gonna give the info that at least one, maybe more of their mobile mechs over here, and they did spot a Corsair. So for the traders for Mechwarriors, they now know that there's one less range mech they have to contend with, what they have to deal with. Grill Squad actually picking up the kill, which is really impressive considering that Grill Squad was actually pretty beat up to begin with. Vindicated though, probably CT, yeah. Marauder did lose its right torso. It's down to one Gauss rifle now, not XL light engine. It is.
Theta is controlled by the enemy.
And we're just gonna have to wait and see how this goes. I like the Vulcan aggression coming back out because again, they know that they have the info that hey, what's over here is something we can contend with, something we can fight. Looks like Hydro Kyle is moving in with pressure on one truck, getting a nasty shot at McGraw. McGraw doing their best to stay alive with that Cicada with the ER PPCs and 2 smalls. Rick being the called target, which I think is a great target. Those machine guns are gonna do great destruction and great work on Rick 88. McGraw trying to peel, trying to put out the fire. Hydro Kyle going in for the kill. Will they be able to shred it? Will they be able to take it? Well, we got good crossfire coming out of that course here once again, but not before Professional One Trick was able to take Rick out of the fight. Darvzing was able to kill Madcat, which Madcat was a Marauder 4L on the island, probably taking that last torso or taking out the CT. Those Vulcans wisely are chasing after that Cicada because if they can pick up this mech, this match is even more secured for Mechanjoyers. With them still having beat up mechs, but still having 6 mechs to the now 3 mechs coming out of Smoke Adders. All the mobile force Smoke Adders is down. It's just Unfearing and Thorax left alive. Unfearing right torso is open. And unfortunately, they're having to deal with pop-tarting Vulcans, which is always annoying. Pressure One Trick getting in a little closer with their machine guns. Good shots coming out, but there goes the right torso. So down to 2 ELRs lasers and 1 Gauss. Looks like Thorax have their own problems to contend with. Thorax looks like they dropped low. Trying to put out some range. Thorax, apparently, according to this, is already a dead mech. Oh, it's because it was really close. It's one-touch CT. Will they be able to scoot up Automato? No, unfortunately.
Sit down.
They were to clean it up. One Trick pushing for that final kill on the Corsair. Taking out that CT. Once again, Mechwarriors bringing in the win. Smoke Adders definitely doubling down on the having more ranged mechs, but on this map it seemed to not pay off the way they liked. But I love the positioning coming in Smoke Adders. That early game position was really awesome. Match ID, there you go for the teams who are actively playing and watching. We're going to go to team stats now. Big damage coming out for both teams. We have Carbon Fire coming in 579, followed closely by Darrell and Grill Squad. Well done on the damage. But Smoke Adders also putting in good work. Madcat deciding to take the lead for Smoke Adders with 629 damage in that Marauder 4L. Good work. Oh, yeah. Excuse me. I'm not sure what that was. Weird audio glitch. All right, I'm kind of curious to see what Mechanjoyers is going to bring for this one. Dropships coming in. All right, so we got Direwolf back in the Automato. We have 3 Stalkers coming out from Sir Ramrod, Villain, and Carbon Fire, and 1 Vulcan and 1 Assassin coming in. So the Vulcan 5S probably running the Snub Nose, and 1 Aerosmall. Interesting. And then we have the 3 large lasers coming out, the Assassin 101. Stalker's probably running the large lasers. We got 5 coming out of Sir Ramrod. We got 5 coming out of Carbon Fire. Love the camos as per usual. There is another Stalker, right? Did I miss it? Oh yeah, Villain. Oh, 2 rocket launches. Villain, you villain. How many times is that person get that joke? And Dara will bring in the 2 air PPC, 2 Lycos. And moving over to Smoke Adders. Smoke Adders go ahead and bring themselves a Vulcan 5S with Madcat. Unfearing in the Corsair 7A, but Growl in the Corsair 7A. We have ourselves a Thorax and a Stalker 5S, bringing that back out. And Rick with the Phoenix Hawk. So, I'm assuming we have a little more skirmishy, brawly, kind of killy kind of mechs, which might work better because, again, Grill Scott is bringing the assassin with 3 large lasers. We do see a push already for the Theta Cap coming out of these teams. Gamma's taken, Kappa is getting taken now. Now, they might think that Kappa being taken is actually going to be the Mechanjoyers' light mech. So I'm really curious. It's a Vulcan 5S, but potentially against another Vulcan 5S. Scouting coming out. Will Professional One Trick be able to spot it? I think they do. Assuming Madcat's running a similar build. Oh, just 2 Snub-Nosed PPCs, not the ER Small. Comms have been given out. Let's see if, yep, Grill Squad is at least giving a little bit of Overwatch with those 3 large lasers. We do have a little position coming up Rick 88 and that Phoenix Hawk. The range trading has slightly begun between our Corsairs, Stalker, and Champion towards Mechanjoyers' 3 Stalkers and Hatomato. Again, what this team has right here is a lot of range. The Hatomato is a good pick because it gives them a Gauss and ER PVC. The Corsairs do have some really good range and a lot of good armor with those Gauss and ER large lasers, and the Stalker 5S with the ER large lasers, and the Champion with the ER large lasers with the nice little peaks as well. But I think this is potentially going to be a very important fight. funny enough, with some of the positioning, if they really want it, they could probably kill
Theta is
Drill
controlled
Squad
by
and
the
the
enemy.
Assassin. They might be able to catch up to it. It looks like Carbon Fire, though, realizing this, is already moving into position to provide a little extra overwatch in case Smoke Adders does seem to be a little aggressive towards the Theta Cap, or at least to help deny it. So maybe that's the reason why Grill Squad is here, is not to actually like provide a lot of overwatch or covering fire, but just to take this position to provide a little bit so Carbon Fire can eventually get into position. So relying on the 3 other traders over here to win against them. Good. Okay, so there we go. We have the Stalker and the Blue Lace just coming out. Yeah, given the Assassin's not going to be doing a lot of damage from this point. Rick, 88, and Mad Cat trying to deny some of that range poke by taking some of the cover of these buildings. Theta will be able to be spotted, but again, these buildings do offer a lot of cover. Personally, I would like to take this side, but he's probably wanting to, or they were probably wanting to get some value with their shots too. There's a lot of Overwatch here. It looks like even more of the ranged mechs are here. Both the Stalkers, only one that's left behind is the Direwolf. They should have the info of this big push actually happening right now. Looks like there is a little bit of a push up from McGraw, the Corsair. Hopefully there's some comps going on. The Champion 3 in now providing Overwatch for the Smoke Adders Wolfpack. Artillery strike going out just to zone them out a little bit. But the thing is that they're going to take a lot of fire trying to leave this fight. And this Assassin and Vulcan and Professional One Trick and Grill Squad can feel, it could be totally fine to be aggressive in this one because they will have such great Overwatch. Like, they're now in a almost a 2v5, 2v6 situation. That Phoenix Hawk is getting pelted away, dropping down to 65%. UV going out of Smoke Adders, so they do know they're there. Will they be able to deny aim the positioning? I do not know. 61%, getting that left torso smacked. Rick 88 is going to have to play even more careful right now. They take another left torso hit. Professional One Trick looking for it too. Will they be able to catch that hit? And they sure do! Professional One Trick slapping that Rick 88 down. Rick 88 tried their best, tried to deny the shots, but with so much range shooting at him, it was just a tough position to be in. So Rick 88 did their best to get out of it. But Professional One Trick was feeling that shot, and, well, they got it. Let's see.
Theta is controlled by the enemy.
Fearing take a little bit of the island positioning. I mean, the play could be that they actually secure, they use the Gamma, and they actually use their mech in order to grab Kappa. But again, they have to be even more careful than before. I mean, the Vulcan looks like it got it out okay. By the way, Mad Cat, I like your mech. Nice and sleek. Yeah, they're relatively okay. Vindicated getting out relatively fresh as well. If they can hold this outside, it looks like the only person who's really set up to hold this outside. I mean, maybe there's a positioning for the under the bridge. Yeah, the Direwolf peeking from the left-hand side, so the right side stays even fresher, but CT'd nearly. If Smoke Adders is able to play the island and play the aggression, they can just make this a flip where they take Kappa and they hold off the Rangers from here. Now, that's good range for them. They have some high clearances to play with as well. As you can see, they're already utilizing a good amount of it. Grill Squad is not going to be able to get into good range positions because of their 3 large lasers. They might be getting a little bit of poke. Professional One Trick forced to drop down. Mad Cat actually in a very aggressive spot. Probably feeling confident because of some of the Overwatch provided, but I think that might be a little scary. Scary for me, at least. Think about it. Like, if they get popped, that Kappa is going to be... I mean, maybe the champion can make a play for it, but that's not going to be easy cap to get at all. Overwatch coming down. Carbon Fire dropping down to 69%. Let's see how beat up. Left torso weak. A little overheat damage more than anything else. Maybe an airstrike. Another airstrike coming out. Almost catching Grill Squad and Villain. And I think that with the... Oh, is Direwolf still down there? Oh, yeah, Direwolf's over here now. Yeah, this mech right here is the biggest problem. They need to be able to kill this mech in order for their light mech to get across. Looks like Vindicated, knowing the positioning, is actually taking a really smart path by using the bridge as cover, trying to get in closer with their mech. Right now, it's mostly Unfearing in this high position in order to deny it. Thorax is making the cross now. We have Champion 3 in and Corsair 7-8 also trying to move it to a position. Okay, Mad Cat is going to be in a spot to take it. Will they go for the fight or will they go for the cap? If they go for the cap, it's just going to alert Direwolf to this. They might be the denied positioning. Direwolf is still being focused on for the trade. It's not has yet to realize. Got smacked in the back, though. Now they're fully aware. Looks like they are getting hit by some kind of PPCs as well, unless that was Mad Cat just hitting the cover right there. Direwolf was forced to disengage, did not want to have any part of that Vulcan, and the Kappa flip is happening, but notice Professional One Trick and Grill Squad still providing that Overwatch is actually going to take Gamma. I just released, for some reason, I don't have the scoreboard up. I apologize. There it is. I don't even know how I got rid of that. But there we go. Scoreboard is back. Don't freak out. It's going to happen.
Command confirming that we have possession of Kappa.
Oh, Kappa's flipped, but Mechwarriors is still in the lead. As far as the damage goes, it does look like Mechwarriors is kind of surviving the range trade. I mean, Mechwarriors has already proven they're happy to range trade all day. Talk of replacing Unfearing, so Unfearing can get into a different position. CT'd open, I understand that now. But Growl, though, being pushed off because the Hamato is taking this side. Those blue lasers, though, still ripping in. Right now, they are just zoning for their team. Looks like Sir Ramrod, though, able to get pretty nasty shots on that Corsair 7A. Corsair 7A losing that side torso. Direwolf also putting in the shots. Professional One Trick harassing that side flank now. Maybe with those light mechs being so close, nice UAV going out for both, well, they already had the UAV over Gamma, but I like the UAV coming out of McGraw just so they can know if they have a little more info coming in. But not I mean, they still have their light mech, though. They still have Mad Cat trying to do what they can. Unfortunately, I think the Mad Cat just needs to do the exact same thing that they just did and drop back down to the bridge. But you know what? It's always easy for the spectators to be like, excuse me, this is what you're supposed to do in this situation. It's much harder when you're in the middle of the fight. I like the aggressiveness coming at Direwolf, though. It must feel good about the kills. It's looking like it's going to be a combined push counting out Direwolf, Grill Squad, and Professional One Trick as they're going to see if they can slap the Vindicated out of the fight. Vindicated, though, not being afraid to put the shots out there. Hamato getting in closer. CT is open. Just their left arm is gone. They don't need that left arm. Professional One Trick is able to get the pick, but unfortunately does lose their Mech. Airstrikes coming out. Oh, the humanity that is happening right now. Oh, it's almost a one-touch CT. Will someone be able to grab it? Oh, I think Mad Cat's going to go for it. Oh, maybe not. Professional One Trick doing a good job legged, but not afraid of the fight. There we go, Mad Cat. Way to pick up that kill, but instantly punished once again. But Professional One Trick, who just loves going for those back shots. Left leg nearly gone, but the cap game is definitely in Mechwarriors, and now Smoke Adams only have 2 mechs left, being Unfearing Corsairs. There's nearly one-touch CT, and a Stalker that is nearly one-touch right torso. It's gonna be tough to pull this off if they get super lucky and Professional One Trick makes a poke that they can't afford. But they're gonna do their best to protect their left leg using the jump jets. Grill Squad now getting even more value because of their range poke. Left torso is ready to pop. Actually pushing the aggression, probably because of the call. They're going to want to finish out this fight now and here for all y'all to enjoy. But Smoke Adders going to do their best to make it hard for them, to make it difficult for them. Unfair and taking steps back, wanting to that Vulcan to peek it out. But Professional One Trick doing a great job as we have Grill Squad coming from the back, coming from the rear, taking time, focusing fire, and could not get the kill. Oh, and punished for it. Will Grill Squad be able to take it up? Now, this is an unfortunate fight for Thorax because those ELR's lasers are going to have a hard time trading. If they peek that ridge, though, they're going to run into more Stalkers and more range. It's just Unfearing killing Professional One Trick. He was doing such a good job pop-tarting and protecting that leg, but Unfearing was able to snap it up before being taken out. Well played, well fought. And there we go. That is the match, everyone. Great plays from both these teams. I like the position coming Smoke Adders to try to deny this ridge, and it almost worked out for him. Just, you know, again, it's just difficult to pull this stuff off when Mechwarriors is just fuming at the, or fuming? What's the word I'm looking for? Foaming. They're foaming at the mouth for these matches, these fights. So big fights, big damage. We have Darrell saying with the 678 damage, followed quickly up by Sir Ramrod in 653. And then Smoke Adders, Unfearing, said, okay, y'all had your chance. Now I'm coming back for top damage with 795. And there we have it, everyone. That is the final match. That is the last one that we have to witness for Mechwarriors and Smoke Adders. They both had a great fight, great season, did their best. There's a lot of teams that have joined up in Division B. So honestly, give them both a round of applause, a round of support, because, my goodness, they did such a good job. Doing such great work, buddy. So that's going to be it for me. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you throw these Discords and these people some love. If you're interested in comp and you want to get involved, plenty of teams out there. Join the MW Comp Discord channel. If anything else, you'll find some people who's even a player recruitment there. If you want to cast, there is even access for unofficial casters. As long as you work with them and know that they have the call and everything, generally you get to cast some games as well. But you got to put yourself out there. You got to be exciting, or you got to at least be technical, or, among other things. But hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. I got to run because I have to start my scrim now. For 2D20 Reapers against CDU Bandits. And we have our match, which I think is being shoutcasted. Either way, I'll be streaming my perspective this Saturday. So, be excited for that. Alright, y'all. Take care of yourselves. Remember, no matter who you are, what's going on in the world, I'm doing my best to be here to keep you company. So, thanks for keeping me company. Later.